Hey there, Virgo. This one is for you. Welcome. This is Tarot Lumination with your love and relationship report for July 2017. And that's you, Virgo. So, if you get a chance, well, it would really help a lot if you could watch the little introduction video for the playlist itself. Also, if you want to go deeper, watch for behind the scenes playlist itself. Help you to understand better what we call the little like mini crucible reading here, the spread that we use to do this reading for you. It's on the understanding that we're dealing with a significant relationship that may already be in play. Also, if it's nothing like that, if in other words, if you're like totally single, you can still be radiating the energy of relationship anyway, because that's what people do. And you could be attracting the type of dynamic that you see expressed in the other on this side of the reading as we go through, simply through the laws of attraction. So don't discount this little report just because you might be single. Male or female doesn't matter. Doesn't matter about all that. Also, just so you know, no reversals, no jumpers, no flyers. We're not doing any oracles on this. This is just a little public, fun, general reading for you guys for love and relationship, and we're just going to make the best of it, okay? We're coming into July with a very, very strong new moon at the end of June and a very pivotal full moon around July 9th. So this could be happening for you in and around like your 5th and 11th houses. September. Yeah, so you might be feeling this in the love and romance section of your life anyway, and how that also pans out in your sense of community and friendship and stuff, in contradictory ways. We'll see. Okay, we're not going to do a lot of astrobabble here. We're just going to kind of dive in and trust the tarot, okay? So, let's have a bit of fun. Thank you for visiting, Virgo. Did I say this already? Watch for your sun, moon, and rising, because that's what people do, you know, on this tarot stuff. So just do that, squish it all together, and you'll come up with a fuller comprehension, okay? All right, we're almost done. Cards are already pre-shuffled, but we shuffle right to the very last moment, okay? So here we go. We're going to split it way up, way up. Let's have a look, see what's going on. Okay, let's say this is kind of you and your energy. And let's say this is the other and their energy. And let's say this is going deeper into you. This could be very subliminal. It could be churning and grinding. It could be very harmonious. It could be stressful. We don't know. And the same thing with another, okay? Significant other. And here would be the status of the relationship itself. If you watch the little video, you'll understand what we're talking about. There's you, there's another, and there's the relationship, okay? The relationship has an entity and an energy of its own. And here's where things can, you know, like outcomes from the dynamics of this relationship. And so, just in case you didn't watch it, but we're talking about a crucible here, which is a very, very strong container that can withstand intense pressure as people go through the dynamics of relationship, where there's ups and downs and transmutations and evolutionary forces that are happening in the context of relationship, which may be sometimes very hard to understand. And also, it's on the understanding that a lot of our own evolution and the evolution of a significant other cannot occur except within the context of an intimate, chosen relationship, where the structure of the relationship is chosen and deliberate. So we're kind of allowing for that here. Now also, let's see what we're going to see. Okay, we got that. So what I think of as the weather is kind of what's around you. It's like supporting weather. Well, it's just weather, and you just make the best of it, okay? You just do what you can. If it's crappy weather, you deal with it. If it's good weather, you take advantage of it. You enjoy it. But either way, you have to live through it. So what we have here is the little Knight of Wands. So with the Knight of Wands, it may feel to you that you're kind of swimming in this environment where there's a lot of passion flowing, expressively flowing, and It's very, very vibrant, and it could be with the relationship itself. It could be with or through a significant other, or it could be even inside of yourself, and it's starting to bubble up and froth um, in a way that's kind of exciting. Like it's almost, you might be feeling like the environment right now through July is very conducive for expressing your passions, so to speak, quite openly, almost fearlessly, courageously in ways that you may never have done before. Okay, so it's kind of exciting. We don't know what's going on yet. We're just going to look. Let's just start exploring. Let's have a look. What about you? How are you doing? Well, okay. Happy, happy, happy. So Virgo, somewhere at some part deep inside your DNA, there's something really profoundly yummy that is happening, and you know it and you feel it in your heart and your soul and your body. And it's enough to the point where it's spilling out everywhere. It's almost like, I don't know what to do with all this stuff. And it's starting to, like, you know how love is actually infectious, like a disease? Love truly is infectious. It's almost you've got so much you don't even know what to do with it. And it's starting to spill out and affect everyone and everything in your whole life and your environment around you. And they're feeling it. Now, the thing is, with this much love energy, it can almost like, blow the lid off a situation. So, because what do you do with all of this? So it might be that you've decided in a very, very sensible manner, because Virgos, you tend to be very sensible, that you might as well just let the energy flow. There's no point in bottling up this stuff. This is just pure, undiluted love. And it's just spilling over. And it could be feeling very simple as just like, damn, I feel good. And it could be in the context of a relationship, but we're talking about you, your private energy in the context of a relationship. So if this is how you do feel and what you are radiating, it might just mean that other people in your environment are kind of going, have you noticed that, Virgo? What is going on with them? It's like they're glowing. It's weird. And someone else says, wow, yeah, I sort of saw that too, man. It was freaking me out. Did you see that? Like, I don't know. I just feel good hanging out with them, and they're having this effect on me. I have no idea what it is, but it feels good. Yeah. So it's like, Virgo is like, you are loving, you are loved. 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 You are love. You are radiating love like a rainbow, and others are enjoying your radiance. So there. Well done. Well done, Virgo. It's almost like you got this, and it is glowing, glowing, and glowing. So what about a significant other over here? What's going on with them? Okay, it looks like they're working hard, minding their own business, taking care of their side of things, however that works out. They might be on a, they might be aware of this energy or not. It almost doesn't matter, because this is just like, who cares? You got this, you own this, and just like, that's fine. But you might be relating to someone else who is perfectly appreciative of this energy, is very, very aware of it. But from their own perspective, they are literally busy minding their own business, taking care of, let's say, their side of things, okay? And because that happens in relationships where you just don't do everything automatically, like you're locked in this like never-ending like embrace. It's two completely distinct individuals who have chosen to be in this crucible structure. Did I mention that earlier? The crucible structure, where this is a chosen environment where two parties have willfully decided, we are going to create this thing called a relationship, and we are going to dive into it, and we are going to use this safe place, this safe space where we can both evolve and truly become ourselves and each other. And you can do it, Virgo, in your way, and you can do it, other, in your way. And that's awesome, because the sum of the whole is far greater than the sum of the parts. And it seems to be very evident that both parties understand that, but they're just conducting and living it through in their own particular way at this particular moment. So it might appear to you, dear Virgo, that you're dealing with somebody who's just got their head completely buried in work, doing what they have to do to take care of business, to make sure everything is good and solid and stable. And, you know, they're doing this with all the best of intentions. And because it's the whole idea about building solid foundations for the long term here. It's like being, let's say they're out in the workspace, out in the world, doing what they do, very, very focused because they can see the long-term value. And as far as they're concerned, this is more than worth the long-term investment. So they are going for it now while the sun shines. Okay, so in their own way, okay, they are, so let's go back to this little card again. In terms of vivid expression of passion and wanting to bring that home, it's like both parties here, you, dear Virgo, are radiating this in your own way. And they're doing this in their own way, okay? But it's like an equivalent. It's a very well-balanced energy where both parties get to express passionately, openly, in their own way as completely distinct individuals. So there's a lot of perhaps resonance here, which would indicate mutual satisfaction for both parties at this point. We don't know what's going to go on further. Let's have a look deeper inside of you. So, what was I going to say? I just had something. Okay, we'll move on. All right, here we go. What's going on inside of you? Okay, wow. So, good on you, Virgo. This is good, down-to-earth, sensible, practical Virgo energy. This is deep down inside of you, Virgo. Okay, it's great that all this passion is flowing and it's released and it's expressing and it's coming out and it's very inspiring for yourself and others, and you're taking advantage of the energy flows right now through July, and it's reciprocal. It's happening through another in their own way, shape, and form, and it could almost make you like incredulous, because it's not often that this kind of card would appear in this kind of position. This is really, really like happiness in the purest sense. It's happiness from the heart. It's loving energy being fully and openly expressed. However, good on you, Virgo, coming back down to earth, like take a few deep breaths, like deep down inside, you know you have to take stock of the situation, because it might feel lovely right now, but you know, in order to last for the long term, you really, really got to think about what the heck is going on here, because this does not happen that often, okay? Not for anybody single or paired. So something is going on, Virgo, and you are feeling it, and it's so abundant, it's just spilling out. It's almost to the point like, whoa, what do I do? Oh, wow, this feels awesome. So good on you, Virgo. You're tapping into your practical, earthy self and saying, okay, let's just chill. Let's just calm down here. Let's just say that I, dear Virgo, have come to a realization that I'm starting to see the fruits of seeds that I have planted. And these could have been planted long ago, months ago, years ago, lifetimes ago, and it's starting to look like there's something actually manifesting now. Now the question is, what is this? Because it has all the hallmarks and signs and the feelings of being something wonderful and delicious and very bountiful. However, this is not the time to like just gorge and dive in on it. It's very, very appropriate, Virgo, right now, through this Cancerian period, through July. It's very much about nurture, okay? Nurture the self, nurture the other, but even more importantly, nurturing the relationship. And so in order to nurture the relationship in the healthiest way possible, it's very, very important that a very, very realistic evaluation is conducted Okay, so that you can have a really, really close-up look of what is actually going on. What is this aspect and element of the relationship? What is this aspect and element? What is this aspect here and here and here? What does it all mean? How does it all add up? How does it all work together? Because overall, it seems really good, but we need to go deeper and understand. Okay, so that would be good. That's a very, very healthy thing to do. It's extremely complementary with a significant other who is very diligently going about their business in the context of relationship, because they may be aware of the value of the relationship themselves. Because even though there might be, as individuals, there might be a high degree of separation within the context of the crucible. There's a very high degree of compatibility here, and the other party is simply taking care of their business on their side of things, like a team effect. With all these pentacles, it's very much about reality. This isn't all cuckoo land stuff up in the clouds. This is like taking all the passions and all the love and everything, and let's just say, let's take it down to earth here. Let's get real here. And you're lucky, Virgo, because you're dealing with someone who is taking care of business. Okay, it might be boring to wait for them to take care of their business and get their stuff together, doing whatever they feel they have to do in regard to this relationship to create the value, hold down the value, and maintain the value over the long term. So you might be picking up on that. In other words, it's like mutual reception. In other words, they are radiating the energy of value, and you are picking up and sensing the energy of value. In other words, that this is a valuable relationship. There is significant value here, and it's very tangible. It's substantial, and it looks like it's getting built to live the long term, even though you're very, very much in the seedling stages where things, in other words, it's not appropriate to pick the fruits right now. It's very, very appropriate right now in July to focus on nurturing the goodness that already exists. Nurture very, very, very gently, very methodically, almost like a reflection of their own way of taking care of business, where you, remember Virgo, this is your reading about your relationship with a significant other over here. And it's two separate energies in the context of a chosen relationship. So these are very complementary energies here. Let's have a look. What's going on deeper inside of this significant other? Oh, did I say this earlier? Even if you might be single, it's still okay to read this for yourself, because through the laws of attraction, you can be radiating this energy and unwittingly attracting this energy to you, even though it might not be physically in your world yet at this very, very moment, okay? Because that's how it all works. Watch another video on laws of attraction. That's another thing. We're just focusing on your little tarot for now. So let's have a look deeper inside the other. Okay, they might be dealing with, now don't be scared of this little card, Virgo. Remember, this is not your energy. It is the energy of the other. They might be dealing with deep, deep, deep pain and suffering and wounding that's been cumulative over a very long period of time. It's their energy, and they are dealing with it, and they are aware through the context of this particular relationship that they share with you, that all these issues of like unrelenting pain and suffering are like becoming very, very apparent deep down. And for the other party, as painful and as frightening as this card might appear, it's actually very, very good news, because for the other party, it's like enough is enough. The inside of themselves, it's almost like they're distracting themselves with taking care of the existing relationship to the point where they're not aware of this kind of pain anymore. It's like it's being purged and cleansed, which is very, very beautiful. It's very, very healing, because it can't and will never, ever get as bad as this again. Not if they can help it. As far as they're concerned, it's over. All this kind of unrelenting, grinding pain and suffering that comes from treachery, betrayal, lies, deception, unending misery from poor decisions in the past, treachery, betrayal in the past, including their own treachery and betrayal of themselves, where they either deliberately were causing self-harm or unwittingly drawing a lot of harm to themselves, without meaning to. It's just that's how they were conducting themselves. Maybe they were just giving away a lot of energy, and other people said, okay, well, if they want to live their life like a pincushion, cool. I'll dump all my crap on them. Cool. So that's cool, but you don't have, your other party is probably very clearly determined not to live their life like a pincushion for other people's pain and trauma anymore. It's more about healing and self-healing for them, where deep down inside, in the context of this significant relationship with you, Virgo, they are very, very aware of the soft blue waters and the new horizons that are emerging in the context of this relationship. So don't be scared of this card, Virgo. It's not your energy, but it is present in the context of the relationship. But in some ways you are immune, because this other party is taking care of business. They're doing what they have to do, which includes revelations and understandings over long-term periods of time about how all this pain and damage and suffering occurred, and how it's coming out and being exposed now in the context of the relationship, which is a tremendous opportunity for healing for the other party, if that makes sense. Because you have to reveal it to heal it. So this is a lot of revelation coming to the surface for the other party, that this is a tremendous opportunity for self-healing in the context of a very loving relationship. So let's keep going. Let's see what happens. Going a little deeper in. I was getting a wobble just then. What the heck was it? Oh yeah, it was to do with this. Okay, in the context of the relationship, just imagine this is the prevailing weather outside. Yes, it might be very exciting. It's also important to understand over the long term that you don't want to be tripping over yourselves with all of perhaps the excitement and passion of what's going on, no matter how it's being felt or expressed, because sometimes this energy can represent a little potential chance for burnout and overkill. Like the desire for healing from this party might be so extreme that they just want to get on with it. And the reality is it might be much healthier to take a long-term healthy approach and deal with things incrementally. In other words, let's say in the context of this relationship, you, dear Virgo, are very solidly aware of the good stuff that you have here in the relationship. And you're dealing with a party who is very aware as well, but from a very different perspective. But either way, the value is there and it's highly appreciated on both sides. And in the context of the relationship, the other party is aware that they have a chance to no longer live their life as a pincushion for other people, and instead enjoy the benefits of a healthy relationship. That's very, very profound for the other party. So you may, dear Virgo, like you do, because Virgo is so much about service energy, and especially in terms of healing, Virgo energy carries the energy of the nurse, the healer, the caretaker, the soother, the one who just does what has to be done to allow the other party to self-heal, okay? The Virgo isn't necessarily acting as a doctor per se, but more like a facilitator, okay? Creating a safe place and environment for a significant other to take care of their own business, take care of their own healing. And in so doing, this energy fades away over time. Let's have a look at the status of the relationship. That could be totally different. We don't know. Wow. Gulp. Okay, well, this is very masculine energy here, and it could, it's almost like somebody is determined to take charge of this relationship and make things happen in a way that needs to happen. In other words, there's no messing around. It could be Virgo it could be that you either have taken it upon yourself or you are taking it upon yourself to, uh, let's say, tune into this energy, learn it and understand it, allow it to spill over and share with everyone else. Allow yourself deeper in to go through a very methodical, genuine, down-to-earth, realistic evaluation of what's going on. And with an overall, let's say you get a good assessment. Let's say you figure out that, things are actually worthy here. There's a degree, let's say you, Virgo, decide there is a high degree of worthiness between me, Virgo, myself, and a significant other. In other words, you can see and feel the investment that they are placing in the relationship, not you necessarily, obviously you. They're putting energy into the relationship that is now starting to feel to you, dear Virgo, upon deeper and deeper evaluation, that there is something just right about this, where it actually works for you in such a way that you can feel like fully empowered yourself. Okay, I'm not trying to suggest that you're sucking up that energy out of the relationship, Virgo. It's very mutually supportive, but remember, this is your reading for you about a relationship with a significant other. So these energies are over here, okay? So with the status of the relationship from your perspective, dear Virgo, whether it's sun, moon, or rising, whatever, it can give you a feeling that the status of the relationship is very, very empowering for you, where you get the chance to rise up to, forget that this is masculine energy. It doesn't even matter whether you're a male or female watching this, male or female Virgo. It's an indication that it gives you an opportunity, Virgo, to take charge and live out a relationship dynamic in a way that you have a lot of say, where you have a lot of power, where you are, let's say, imbued with a lot of power, where you are granted a lot of power, and where you have a lot of power, where you have a lot of, let's say, dignity and a lot of authority. However, it's not too overbearing or too abusive. This is Tarot Illumination feels this as like pure emperor in the most high vibration form of emperor energy, where they are fully aware of the responsibility of their, let's say, their domain, their dominion over others and the world around them, where, let's say, in the context of this relationship, let's just set aside all the passion, for example. Let's set aside all the beautiful, buoyant, loving energy that is purely and just gushing and flowing over. We come down to earth, we get realistic, and as the month progresses, the reality check becomes more and more incrementally affirmed, to the point where you can see evidence from the other that we're dealing with something good and wholesome, and the other is enjoying their own experience, which is almost nothing to do with you personally, but it's very, very much part of the relationship. And the opportunity for them to enjoy such potential for reaching the end of all this pain and going on to future healing inspires them and encourages them, like the King of Wands here, to keep investing. Okay, and that would feel to you as though, wow, this is really worth it. And you can feel it to the point where it really makes you feel empowered. It's not like they're directly, telling you to be the boss of the relationship. No, not at all. It's more like the relationship itself, in the context of the crucible, allows you to feel fully empowered in yourself through the context of the relationship, which is good, because a lot of people feel disempowered through relationships, even if they meant well in the first place. And it's very hard to understand that, because people usually do mean well when they get married or engaged or start dating or having sex or making babies or running businesses together, whatever it is. But sometimes it's like they jump too far ahead of themselves and they discover crap that happens too little. It's too little too late, and things start to degenerate. Whereas it appears something quite different is happening here. fuck, it froze. It froze. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. It might release itself. The camera might release itself. Stay there, people. Oh, whew. That scared the shit out of me. I'm sorry. Okay. I don't know if you're going to see that on your side when it plays out on the channel, but I just saw it freeze in front of me. Anyway, the point is that this is potentially very empowering for you. The relationship is very empowering for you, where you feel empowered, and doesn't mean you have to be the boss and bossy, but it's more about being fully empowered to become you. So where does that lead things? Whoa. Wow, Virgo, cool. This is very supportive, Virgo. This would indicate, as your reader, to me it feels like this relationship is indicating that it's so empowering that it makes you feel like you want to make something out of this in such a way where you can. Again, I'm trying to read this for you in the context of relationship as opposed to you, but this is very much happening for you, Virgo, in such a way that this relationship is not only empowering for you, but it can also make you aware that in order to conduct yourself effectively as an empowered person in the context of the relationship, where you might have been feeling different about life in the world previous to this particular reading, you're now at a point where you're realizing when you become empowered, it might be an energy that you may not be used to, in which case there could be a lot of self-adjustment that has to go on inside of Virgo, inside of the relationship, because once this much, let's say, power is released and becomes available to yourself and to others, in other words, the random spillage of all this radiant rainbow love that was just splooshing around suddenly has a meaning and a purpose, and you can see it and you feel it. It means that not only it's like, how can I put this? It's very empowering for you, dear Virgo, but there is now a deep responsibility to honor yourself in the context of this, because once you are bestowed with so much power, a lot of responsibility comes with that much power. You cannot abuse this power. It's like, it's the healing power of love. Literally, you own it in your hands now, and there's a huge responsibility. Well, what am I going to do with this? If it's such a powerful force, especially if they're enjoying it, appreciating. Let's say they are truly appreciating the healing power of love that is existing in the context of this relationship, and you're starting to realize, oh my God, this shit's for real. You now have a grave responsibility to take charge of that energy. It's a very powerful energy, and understand and figure out, how am I going to get this together and put this together so that it works effectively for myself and others in the world around me. So that means literally taking charge of all this power, and it's like owning an incredibly powerful car all of a sudden. Like, oh my God, I really have to get myself together here so I can, keep this wonderful dynamic in a healthy condition for the long term, because there's obviously a purpose and a meaning to all of this. All right, Virgo, I hope you get something out of this. I hope it means something. Please read for your sun, moon, and rising, and then squish it together, and then hopefully it'll make sense to some of you. And I wish you a wonderful July. Okay, make the most of it, Virgo. Bye-bye.